Well, still in the Ashanti region, Ghana Water Company Limited has resumed operations in the Ashanti region following the suspension of strike by its workers. The strike was prompted by the demolition of property on a land the company claims ownership of by a private developer. Workers' representative, engineer Dr. Hadasu Alasan, has warned that the company will take legal action if there's any further encroachment on the land.
For almost 3 days, water consumers in the Ashanti region were left stranded in search of alternative water sources. The water company in the region shut down operations after private developers pulled down structures on land they lay claim to own. But following a meeting with management, workers of the Ghana Water Limited in Ashanti temporarily suspended their strike. The workers' union highlighted management's swift and decisive action to secure the property under threat and ensure justice for the illegal demolition. Engineer Dr. Hadisu Al-Hassan is the workers' representative on the board of the Ghana Water Limited.
You can manipulate processes to acquire so-called documents. You cannot manipulate the minds of the workers of Ghana Water Limited. We are doing this standing by Ghanaians. These people are acquiring these things for their individual interest, but we are there for the interest of Ashanti man and the whole of Ghana. Anybody has any intention to take any land of Ghana Water Limited, we are giving indication that if any such action takes place, we will take the appropriate steps to take back our lands.
In 2022, the government released a portion of state lands at the Ridge residential area in Kumasi to the Asante. Joy News checks reveal the said property form part of the 200 bungalows on the 400 acre of land expected to be relocated. But the workers claim not to be in the known of any formal communication for relocation.
Let me make this clear. It's a misconception. Oh, they built a place, they allocated bungalows to us. Did they tell us that they were allocating that land to somebody? Did they engage us at the beginning that they are building bungalows for us? Ghana Water was never engaged. The RCC only responded when we were renovating the bungalow. That is when they now came to tell us that they built bungalows and they are allocating ABCD bungalows. So we see that as disrespectful.
Meanwhile, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission is advising the water company to use appropriate channels to address challenges without punishing consumers.
Now let's get updates from Emmanuel Bright-Kweku. Emmanuel, I know that you've been following this story very keenly, again, all the way from 2022 and up until last week, you've been bringing us updates. Currently, you're confirming that water is flowing in the Ashanti region.
All right, so MFR, the updates that we are having so far is that they have resumed operations and the taps have been flowing. Yesterday, when I checked, somewhere around 3 p.m. Personally, my home, that's when I had water flowing through my taps. And so they are back with operations, but they are still insistent on claiming ownership of this particular land. They said that any attempts by the encroachers or the private developers, they will resist any attempts of such. And they may be forced. So this is just a temporary suspension of operations. That should the private developers go back, they will be forced to also shut down operations immediately, according to them. So, MFA, this is the current updates we are having on this particular situation.
I am trying to reconcile this position of the Ghana Water Limited because the challenge isn't between the consumers and then the water company. It's supposed to be them and the private developers. Why then are consumers being the one feeling the brunt of their decisions?
Exactly. So yesterday we asked them why the consumers must feel this brunt. And they told us that they have to do it for the good of posterity because they have to protect their property. Should anybody come after them, what are they going to succeed? And so if these are the repercussions that they must have the consumers endure, they are just saying that they must do it to ensure that they protect their property. And so they are, according to them, they are just protecting their property to ensure that posterity can actually get something to hold on for in the coming years. And so they actually pleaded with the consumers to bear with them because they are doing it in the interest of the Ashanti region. we are told.
Do they plan at all to use any legal means? Do they plan on resolving this with any legal means at all?
Okay, so when we also asked that question, they told us that if any raft of measures that would compel the encroachers to ward off their property, they are going to ensure that they do that as well. So it may include illegal action or anything of the sort. So they are saying that anything at all that they are going to do to ensure that their property is well kept, their property as they lay ownership to over 5 decades ago, they are going to make sure that these rafts of measures are taken to secure their property. So it may include a legal action as well. But in the coming days, we may have to find out from them if they are planning of any legal action at all as of now, should the encroachers go back onto the property. MFR.
What's the challenge with the relocation? Should it be the case that the private developers really have legal means to take over the property? What's the challenge with them relocating?
So for now, we do not know the challenge as to why they are not relocating, because we understand that from the Regional Coordinating Council, they have built bungalows for these top managers to occupy. So for, let's say, a doctor or any government official at all in any government institution, they have set up a bungalow for them. And from the documents we have received so far, we saw one that had some of the managers asking the managers to relocate to this place. But from the communication we have with the Ghana Water Limited, they are telling us that they are not in the know. They only became aware of this particular bungalow relocation when they decided to renovate their current place, that is the current abode for their top managers. And so they are not in the know as of now. But for now, they have taken it up onto the top management to take the decision and deal with those involved. That will be maybe the Regional Coordinating Council and also the Lands Commission in the Ashanti Region, MFR.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I know that you still be following the story and be bringing us update, but thank you. Now let's...